Well, hello. This is Rosa, RCG Creation. I got to move my Coke Icy. Hubby went to the store. He's off doing some errands. And I'm sitting here in the kitchen making some apple. Gonna get ready to make some apple butter. But he knows how much I love ices. And I was like, I want an icy. And so he brought me one. Anyway, stop being silly, Rosa. Okay. We're going to be making, excuse me. Whew, okay, I got everything prepped. I got ready. I washed. Remember, when you're making anything with food, make sure you wash all your produce really well. Except for mushrooms. Mushrooms you don't want to wash. You just use a wet paper towel to wipe off any excess dirt and manure that may be on it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to peel. I make my apple butter with apples, whatever's in season, whatever I can get my hands on. I don't have a garden, so I just buy everything at the grocery store. So I make mine with apples and pears. Whatever pears, and I tend to like these, but I forget the name of these. I have no idea. There's no label on it. And I believe these, I'm not for sure if they're Gala or what. Anyway, there's two different kind here. Actually, three different kind. Here I have the pear. Here I have an apple. And then I have these red delicious ones, the little tiny ones. But these are about a week and a half old. And I just, because I'm putting it off and putting it off to make it, because this is a long, it's not hard, it's just a long ordeal. Because I've got 3, 6, 9, I got 9 pounds of apples, 3 pounds of pears, and I need to peel every single one, peel and core. And as you peel and core, you want to put your apples in water with a little bit of lemon juice to keep them from browning as you peel all of them. And then you need a container for your skins and your cores, which you can save those if you like to make apple cider vinegar. And there's some other things that you can make, but I've got so much of that from the last batch, I'm not saving any of it. I'm just going to trash it. I just have 2 containers here to keep any extras apples, because I know all these apples are not going to fit in one bowl, so I'm going to have to transfer them over to another. And then I particularly put all of mine in a roaster. I have a Nesco 18-quart roaster oven. For the first hour, I put it on a kind of like 250, 300, just to get it cooking and rolling and boiling. And then I'll take you along as I'm going of all the ingredients, but I was also going to put in the description box all the ingredients and the recipe for everything. And also it'll be in the description box on the screen near the very beginning of the video, so you'll know exactly how much you need and what the ingredients are. And of course there's tons and tons of recipes out there on Google, on the internet, YouTube, whatever. Follow whatever's best for you. You know what? My rule of thumb is you do what's best for you. You make what you want to make. Try it. And if you don't like it, tweak it. That's the best way to go. So anyway, I've got this apple peeler. I've had this for a number of years. It's got the little suction cup. You can also get the kind that it connects to your, you know, I'm doing this backwards. I'm right-handed. And it's got a suction cup on there. And I want to move this out of the way of the camera. Always have a little paring knife, so in case you need to cut any yucky spot off, you can cut it off. And have a trash can near you, so you can throw away the yucky stuff. But I'm also got a trash can here because I'm going to be putting my apple cores in there and my peelings. Now this particular machine, there's a little release knob here. Hope you want to let me double check. I don't know if I'm in frame. Let me double check. Okay, yeah, I'm in frame. Okay. So there's a release top here. This releases this thing. And this is the part that you turn and it goes and it peels the apple. You can do apple, pears, whatever fruit fits in here, you can do it. And then it's going to go through here, and that's going to take the core out. And this right here has a blade on it, and that's what peels the apple. So you can take the stem off. You don't have to. I'm going to show you both ways. Okay, you put it in there all the way. And then I like to hold it just because of habit. Because this suction cup sometimes comes away. It comes undone after a while. And you see how it's my peeler's not in the way here. Okay, what's going on? Why is it not in here? Okay, what happened? It's not peeling. Oh, it come undone. Okay, you know what? I gotta pause. It came undone. We were washing it and took it apart. I'll be right back. Alrighty, that apple peeler had got that little piece, that the slices, the skins come apart. Took me over an hour. I still couldn't get it fixed. Hubby got home from running his errands. Took him about an hour. He finally got it fixed. So in the meantime, while I was sitting there waiting, I went ahead and just manually peeled all the apples and the pears. Tough job. But anyway, so I went ahead, as you can see, I peeled them all. I took the cores out, took the skins off. There's a few pieces here that have the skin, but I'm not going to mess with it because it's so minor. Because I'm going to puree. You want to puree or put it in a blender, whatever you have. I have an immersion blender, and that's what I'm going to be using when I'm ready to put it in my jars before I put it in the canner. So I'll put all my ingredients, cinnamon, sugar, brown sugar, nutmeg, allspice, all that stuff in here. Now I'm just mixing it all up. And I've got it on, I need to put it on about 300 for about an hour. So I'm going to set my timer. And then in an hour, I'm going to turn it down to the very lowest that this canner can go. And this one is at 200. And then for the next 9 hours, because it's going to probably take about 10 hours for all these to totally get soft. And from everything that I've been reading and all the videos I've been watching, you want to look for the color as well as the taste. So I'm going to set my timer for 8 hours from now. Of course, I'll still ever so often come out here because it's on my kitchen table, and I'll stir the apples around. The first hour, I'm going to stir about every 15 minutes, just to make sure everything gets coated. And then, see here, here's a pear. I just cut it in half because it's all going to get much. You don't need to put a whole lot of effort in cutting. I just had one of those. You push down on it and it decores and takes your apples and it cuts the slices out for you. This is actually those little core things are perfect for when you make an apple pie because it makes the perfect shape of the wedges. And there's half a cup of water in here, but the apples are going to go ahead and produce their own water also, along with the pears. So now that's pretty good stirring. Let me put my spoon on the spoon rest. Let me get my lid. And then there's the 2 little holes for venting right here. And now it's going to sit here for an hour. And then we'll turn it down and go from there for another 8 hours. We'll be back. Okay, this is the next day, and we're ready to start canning. Oh, let me show you what it looks like. Sorry for the reach there, but there is a color that you want. Of course, remember, before at least in the last 2 hours before you're done, or the 10-hour session that it takes, taste it. Okay, to see if you need to add any seasonings, spices, or anything else like that. Okay, because that's the, oh, I forgot my scooper, my funnel. Alrighty, I don't know where I put my funnel.
Green one?
Yes.
This ring.
Oh, it's in the dish drain. Hubby says it's in the dish drain. Okay, it says there's no meat in here. There's no food, additional food. You don't have to debubble. You can if you want to, but you don't have to because it's all liquid. Now, there's little chunks of apple if you didn't get it totally pureed, but that's a judgment call on your part. Now, because I turned this off at 2:30 this morning because that's when they were done, and I did not want to finish it at that hour, this is now cold food. So remember, cold food, cold jars, cold canner, and you start it off on a medium heat for about 20 to 30 minutes, then raise the heat up as the water gets hot, so it heats up the jars and heats up the food inside the jars, so you don't shock the jars and have a possible breakage or crack in a jar. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is scoop it in. Look at that. Let's see how thick that is. That is the texture that you want. You want to double check, make sure I'm in frame. Oh, let me just move this over just a tad, because I can see the slow roaster is not in total frame. But anyway, this is what you want. See that thickness? That's what you want. So I'm thinking 1 whole scoop, because when I did my jelly, my mulberry jelly, if you saw that a couple days ago, 1 whole scoop was enough to fill this entire jar. But this is a lot thicker than that liquid, so it may not be. Oh, and you know what? I forgot my directions. We need a 1-inch headspace. Let me see. Apple butter. We want a 1/4 inch headspace. So that is that top ring right here on the jar. That's the 1/4 inch. So okay, I think I got that one. And then sometimes because it's thick, you want to pound it. So that's why you want to work on a towel, because you don't want to mess your jars up working on counter or a tabletop. And actually, that's a little too high. So keep the spoon that you've been stirring and stirring and stirring this with. And just take it out and put it in the other jar, because you don't want too much sauce in here. I mean, too much food. And again, shake it. And there is your 1-inch headspace. Actually, it's a little bit above that. And I know that jar is all dirty, so I'm going to, don't forget, get your vinegar and your paper towel to wipe your top of your rim. And don't forget, before you start anything, you want to double check. A good time to do it is when you're rinsing, when you're washing and sanitizing your jars, is put your finger right in here to feel if there's any cracks or bubbles or wedges, because that will compromise your seal and you won't get a good seal. Okay, so I'm going to finish all these up and I'll bring you back. Then they're going to go into the canner. I wanted to show you. Here I scraped all the sauce from one end to go to the other so I can easily pour it into the jars. Did you see when you scrape it over to the side, it doesn't run all over the whole pan? That's a really good thick consistency, which is what you want for your apple butter. See how it just stays right in here in this general area and it's not moving? Well, that's what you're aiming for. Okay, here's some of the jars that I've done. I'm going to finish this rest of these up and then I'll put them in the water bath canner. Okay, there's the apple butter. I made a total of 3, 6, 9, 10, 12, 15 half pints, 6 pints, no, excuse me, yeah, 6 pints, and then one little squatty, this little chubby one. I don't know what size that is, because you can see here it's a little shorter than the half pint, but it's a lot wider than the other jars. So now they're going to sit here. I heard a couple of pings already, And the water has already evaporated on most of them. There's still some right there. I'm not touching because it's very, very, very hot. And the water on top of the lids will evaporate. That's why you never want to tilt, because it could compromise your seal. And I've already heard a bunch of them going ping, 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 ping. Well, we're going to let this sit for 12 to 24 hours. And then I'm going to take my rings off, wash the rings, wash the outside of the jars, and then label them and put them away in the pantry. Thank you so much for watching. We catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.